Och där. Vi ska vänta in lite flera folk här. Kan man titta där. Vi väntar in ytterligare en liten tid, ungefär en minut, och sen börjar vi. Har vi alla som pratar svenska på plats? Titta där. Kommer det lite flera här. Och vi väntar kanske 30 sekunder till innan vi drar igång. Jag tror att vi kan börja smyga igång. Välkommen till dagens webbinar som ska handla om trender inom energi- och infrastruktursektorn. Jag börjar på svenska, men vi kommer att vägleda över till engelska eftersom vi har en europeisk setup här idag med talare från MaxBill som är dagens värdar och sen Tilix då som är partner och systemintegratörer och bistår MaxBills system för fakturahantering. Dagen ska handla om trender inom energi- och infrastruktursektorn och vi kommer att få lyssna på några talare. Det blir först Rost Tilix som är CTO på MaxBill. Sen kommer vi få höra Neil Williams som är data scientist och kommer att prata om AI-införanden. Vi kommer få höra Niladri Roy som är energiekonom och kommer att prata om hållbarhet och CSRD. Och jag själv som är affärsutvecklare kommer att prata om AI-agenter och möjligheterna med detta. Det var intron på svenska. Nästa steg är att jag lämnar över ordet till Rost och MaxBill. Welcome, Rost.
Thank you so much, Johan. Thank you for the introduction, for opening this webinar. I could also like to extend my gratitude to our partner from Tilix for leading today's sessions and sharing their insight in technology world and also in trends in the energy industry. MaxBill has a fruitful partnership with Tilix for several years. Together, we combine technological innovation with local expertise, creating significant benefits for both of our companies and most importantly, for our customers. So let me take a moment to briefly introduce MaxBill. MaxBill solution combines billing, customer management, partner agreement management, invoicing, and settlements for different energy service providers. The company is international. We have a location. We have our offices in Europe Union, in Czech Republic, in Ukraine. We have our offices in United Kingdom, also in Israel. We are totally focused on product development. It's already fifth generation of our product, and we are working on this market for 30 years on market of customer management and billing. A few words about our typical clients. You can see it's quite a wide range of different energy and utility providers, starting from community services, energy supply services, EVCPOs, also EMCPs, energy brokers, energy efficiency companies, and so on. So MaxBill support various business models serving a wide range of customer segments, starting from domestic users, small medium enterprises, industrial and commercial customers, and suitable for different size, different type of clients with different sizes, starting from small to very big. You can see here references on our clients. Shell Energy, for instance, is energy supply for domestic use of electricity and gas in the UK. We are talking about 1.5 million of supply points. Firmus Energy is a DNO, distribution network operator in Northern Ireland, around 500,000 of supply points. Yasna is energy supply in Ukraine, 5.5 million points. And then we can go to another type of customers that's smaller and oriented on B2B and on advanced schemas and advanced type of services, starting from renewable energy like Amiga Solar, communal services as communal energy partners, and so on. A few words about MaxBill solution itself. It combines modules for managing of product catalog, partner agreements, customer management, ordering processes for such as activation of the contracts, change of tenancy, maintenance of the equipment on customer premises, losses, accepting meter reads from different infrastructures, such as advanced smart metering or standard metering for different industries, electricity, gas, water, heating, and cooling, obviously billing for generation of invoices, taxation, settlements, and bill formatting as well. And then revenue management for getting of payments, allocation of these payments, debt management and collection, and finishing by self actions for end customers via self-care portal. So I tried to limit this MaxBill presentation to minimum, so we can spend more time today for exploring of trends. And now I will pass this presentation to Neil, lovely partner from Tilix.
Thank you, Ross. Hello. So Tilix is a boutique consultancy which has been in business for around 30 years, and we have a data-centric approach to accelerating innovation. Our perspectives cover marketing, customer service, engineering, and economics, and we have customers across the globe. These include large utilities, challenger utilities, major users of energy, for example, paper mills, and clean tech manufacturers in e-mobility and battery space. Strong partnerships are key to our value proposition, and we've enjoyed working with MaxBill since 2017. And we're sure you'll learn from our shared insights today, where we're going to talk about 3 different trends that we think are important for 2025. First trend I'm going to talk to, and it's regarding AI transformation. So AI means a lot of different things to Tilix: advanced insights, architecting impact, accelerating innovation. And to us, artificial intelligence is just a tool that helps us deliver these value propositions. It's a means to an end. It's not the end in itself. And we really think that the value of AI emerges when you combine data science, innovation, and economics to create useful socio-technical solutions. The hype's going to continue in 2025. If we reflect a little bit on what's happening here, there's no doubt AI as artificial intelligence is the major trend of the decade. But it's not just one to watch, it's one to embrace and to act upon. If we reflect on ChatGPT's success, it showed the world how accessible and transformative AI can be. LLMs are now the dominant AI technique, and generative AI is undoubtedly the most popular functional application. We see an explosion of AI-related IP, patents, research papers, open source tools are growing exponentially. A few years ago, the World IP Office reported that there were several 100,000 patents with AI and millions of research papers. Now, AI has been around since the 1950s, but the majority of AI-related patent filings have been published since 2013. Before LLMs, machine learning was the dominant AI technique disclosed in payments and research, and computer vision was the most popular functional application. Fields of use for AI span telecoms, transport, life and medical sciences, and personal devices, computing, etc. Sectors include banking, entertainment, industry, manufacturing, and of course, utilities. The goals of AI span many areas, from learning, natural language processing, perception, social intelligence. And the applications we've known about for decades, including spam filtering, language translation, algorithmic trading. It's only in the last couple of years that with the explosion of large language models, that AI has grabbed the attention of the media. So the question for utilities, I think, is are you a tortoise or a hare? And I think that the AI transformation journey for a utility, or for any business for that matter, has to be thought of as a triathlon, which is being run across various terrains. It's not a sprint and it's not a marathon. It's a triathlon. And utility companies are often seen as tortoises, and this stereotype doesn't have to define them, but incremental progress matters. And I advise utilities never to get disheartened when they see other sectors racing ahead. Utilities have to stay the course and adapt and finish strong with AI. But the most important thing is to join the race. And to do that, educate yourself. There are lots of great papers available on the internet from the likes of McKinsey and the US Department of Energy. I'm self-promoting a book that I'm writing just now, which will talk about practical uses of GPT. So there's lots of material out there so that you can stay ahead of the curve or on the crest of the wave. And there's no shortage of areas inside a utility business where you can apply AI. Today we're going to focus on two, being ESG, which Naladri will talk about, and customer service, which Johan will talk about. But given that whirlwind tour of AI, I'm going to hand the mic back to Ross, who will give some perspectives from the MaxBill point of view. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you, Neil. I will reflect a bit about our investment in AI direction as a part of our product. So first of all, MaxBill has a very broad range of business data, operation data, including service consumption, customer interaction, and payment history, all aggregated in our solution. This comprehensive data foundation enables detailed analysis and offering actionable insights to enhance operational processes and also elevate customer experience. So first of all, access to this data is a kind of asset, and we can use it for benefit of the client. And we do so. We are doing so. With these tools, MaxBill transforms data into a strategic asset, enabling providers to refine their processes and deliver a superior tailored customer experience. In the data-driven approach, not only optimize the resource allocation, but also positioning business in for sustained growth. And so how we are doing that? We defined MaxBill machine learning platform. This tool manages the entire model life cycle, data science model life cycle, from collecting and analyzing data, training the model, and deploying it into production operational environment, running a real-time operation, and processing it in batches. It also support what if scenarios, what if simulations. We are collecting result of working of our models, data science models, which are allowing us to track and assess model performance over time. And we can see if model is performing well, if it does not behave well and don't provide realistic prediction and analysis, we can adjust it and send back to training camp for improvements. And here you can see specific models that already implemented as part of MaxBill solution. We have customer churn prediction for different service providers, analyze the data which we have in our possession, and it based on over more than hundreds of different attributes related to customer experience and his historical interactions and also payment behavior. And it gives a possibility us to provide energy service providers with kind of assessment if a customer will leave, and also connected to actions that will prevent this customer decision. It's about customer churn prediction. Another one, and the big problem for now, is raising of the prices for energy. It's getting of customer in debt area. So MaxBill debt risk model, machine learning to help utility provider identify the specific contracts that are at high risk of accumulating future unpaid balances, and analyzes key factors contributing to customer debts. So very, very useful thing for energy service providers. MaxBill uses machine learning in many ways, from predicting of future consumption and revenue for optimizing of operational efficiency, and also detecting of frauds in the network. These models help business stays ahead by forecasting trends and identifying potential issues before they become problems. You can see here yellow strip is a what-if simulation. It's a quite interesting functionality that we provide as a part of our MaxBill solution. It's a possibility to define and replace different attributes that can impact of outcome of prediction in user interface and provide simulation. It's kind of what-if scenarios. So by this, a supplier and people who is responsible for customer churn or debt risk or any other aspects of operation can do simulation, replace attributes, replace type of information about a customer and see how it will impact on their behavior and afterwards. So if I will change my payment method or type of the contract or exchange this customer offer to another customer offer, how it will impact on this group of customer, on this specific customer if it's needed. We can provide this kind of scenarios, and what if simulation is part of our solution. And you can decide, a service provider, on decisions and on user actions to take and reduce the impact of negative prediction, if you like. Okay, so it's about reflection on data-driven decision making trend, and now I will pass stage to Niladri, I guess.
Thanks, gents, and hello, everyone. I'm Niladri, Tilix's energy economist and also an enterprise architect. I've been working in the sector for about a decade across the energy system in various countries. And so taking some of the key aspects which both Neil and Rust have just alluded to, getting a bit broader than just ESG and looking at regulatory reporting and sustainability compliance in general, we're going to first zoom out for a bit to look at some of the key macro drivers which are driving these ground level trends which the other chaps are talking about. And then we will zoom back in to see how they're weaving into the utilities landscape. So yes, starting off with on screen ESG, acronym Environment, Social and Governance. It's one of a few three-letter acronyms we'll be using today and probably a few four-letter ones as well. And though ESG is not a fully globally defined, it's not defined, it is having a top-down effect on many of the ground level trends. Now, I think many of you will have at least heard of it and so have some awareness of it. But what you may not know, and maybe an interesting insight, is how closely tied to and how closely it maps to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs. In essence, the ESG practices, in whatever form, are mechanisms to achieve many of the absolute top level UN SDGs. So this is, as we can see, it's starting right top level and how we're starting to go layer by layer down, right? And the related reporting and compliance is now having an increasingly significant impact on companies. And that's not just in terms of the paperwork, that's having quite an influence on the amount of investment and the financing that they're receiving as well. So we're moving to a time where regulatory compliance and then financial compliance are starting to overlap a bit. So for today, we're only going to focus on the E portion for environment, but for our purposes, it's overlapping with sustainability. And of course, it is the most relevant to the utilities and the energy space, particularly in terms of reducing carbon emissions. So if we now start to zoom down a bit and look at how utilities and energy companies are being practically affected in terms of broad compliance, a major example is the EU Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive, which is, there you go, a four-letter acronym, and there's one more, which as of this year, 2024, has replaced the preceding NFRD, the Non-Financial Reporting Directive, which was a voluntary framework. So that's the key switch. Now we're going from voluntary to mandatory. And what CSRD is doing, as we start going down those layers, is transforming the aspirational principles and goals of ESG into specific legally binding regulations which have their own set of related performance metrics and indicators. All right. So ultimately, CSRD is trying to elevate sustainability reporting to the rigor of financial reporting. So there's a massive leap in the complexity that's going to be involved in that. And of course, it's impacting all sorts of companies with new detailed disclosure and audit requirements. So a major knock-on effect of that is that it's driving digitization, general digital transformation, and has also been alluded to AI transformation in order to just manage that sheer volume of data and complexity. And that is encompassing everything from simple automation all the way through to clever AI and some of the clever AI that we will talk about in a little bit. All right, so when you start talking about digitization and digital transformation, you start to get some imperatives which have to come into place, particularly again around the nature of data collection, since companies of, again, many sizes are having to grapple with both the compliance frameworks and also the fragmented data sources that they're having to pull from. So from a purely manual effort, that would be quite debilitating for many companies because it requires, or historically has required, dedicated teams in the larger companies which have been historically affected. As smaller and smaller companies become encompassed within the mandates, it's a heavy burden and they just don't have the manpower for it. So it's driving the need for, instead of taking on more manual resources, to find clever software solutions, automation solutions, and of course, AI solutions. So this is everything from automating the data collection and validating it all the way through to enabling individual ownership and personalized dashboards and personalized intelligence and things like this. And it's also about future-proofing through agile software approaches so that it can adapt to the evolving requirements and prescriptive regulatory landscape. So then we can now look at that back down to the specific landscape of digitization within what's happening in the energy and the utility space. And we can see that new AI-driven tools are coming in. They're helping with consolidating data, verifying the accuracy, helping to self-complete the compliance frameworks. And aside from CSRD, there are others of similar complexity which are also starting to become mandatory. AI is particularly applicable here because, taking, for example, just emissions accounting, you've got something like 120,000 emissions factors across 195 countries. It's not to say every country has that many, but you can say that's just one specific area of sustainability, and it's complex all of itself. So AI can enable organizations to perform the rapid and reliable calculations whilst also maintaining the fulfillment in a transparent way. So all of these things are becoming very important as the regulations tighten. Right? So of course, the 80-20 rule of automation assistance aiding human oversight will remain true. I don't think that's going to change anytime in the future because, given the complexity, you're still going to need that human expertise to make sure that the AI is providing what you need. But it's about really easing the process, accelerating it, and increasing the accuracy. So from that list of some quite obvious ones, probably the most interesting and exciting for next year will be interactive Q&A, which by any other name would be chatbots and AI agents. So on that note, I shall now hand over to eventually Johan, who will take a deeper dive into AI agents and what's happening in the space.
Thank you, Niladri. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to talk about how AI agents can make a big difference in the utilities sector. And in order to approach that matter, we start with chatbots in utilities. Chatbots are one of the most useful and visible tools in the utility sector, and this is what many of the local utilities companies does. And normally they are used for one spectacular particular use case is the customer support chatbot. A chatbot that can answer questions about bills, outages, and general inquiries. But we have more use cases for the chatbots. It can be used for internal operations, helping HR, IT, communications, and compliance teams with all the repetitive tasks. We can as well help the sales team with lead generation by capturing and qualifying customer interest. So if you're already using chatbots, that's great. But the next challenge is to move beyond the basic bots and create AI agents that can understand and talk more naturally and perform actions. So we are moving from the rule-based bots to intelligent agents that can learn and adapt in real time, making them more helpful and reliable in dynamic situations. But we see as well more of a personalization. Let's call it hyper-personalization, where a customer can increasingly expect a tailored experience. For utilities, this could mean personalized energy saving advice or update specific to a user's location. Number three, because more organizations asking what value are we getting from AI? Yeah, you have to calculate ROI, but with advanced metrics and analytics, we can ensure and help that AI investments deliver tangible benefits. Number four. Cybersecurity. As AI systems handle sensitive customer data, the need for advanced security measures is greater than ever. New tools are addressing these risks to keep systems and data safe. Niche applications. One is conversational AI. So instead of a one-size-fits-all solution, we're seeing AI agents developed for specific high-value tasks like outage reporting again, or predictive maintenance. And by integrating AI agents across different systems, we can create smoother workflows, for example, linking customer service with billing or maintenance teams seamlessly. About number seven, higher public understanding and expectations, because this expectations thing is important. As customers become more familiar with AI, their expectations rise. So they want systems that feel human, solve problems quickly, and don't frustrate them with robotic answers. So what we're seeing is an AI that not comes for replacing people, but to work alongside. And the trend highlights the importance to design systems that empower employees and AI to be more effective together. So we are therefore we're moving beyond the predefined Q&A chatbots, and we're seeing an agentic area where natural language understanding and natural language generation come in. So AI agents with these capabilities can understand what customers are asking in their own words, find the right information from data systems quickly, and respond smartly to complex or unexpected questions. So AI agents don't stop improving once they are launched. The best systems keep learning from interactions so they can get better and more useful over time. So as your chatbot or AI agent grows, you need to think about scalability. This means having the right tools to manage bigger data sets, keep good performance, and meet different customer needs. To sum up, AI agents can help utilities improve customer service, make operations more efficient, and create long-term value. But to succeed, you need to start with the right people, the right technology, and the right processes. So start small, make an impact, measure the results, then grow and improve. Thank you. Over to Rost.
Thank you, Johan. And indeed, it's a very important trend, and it's very important use of AI generative technology. And we do some preparation for energy service providers to make this transformation easier. So we use generative AI and natural language speaking conversation chatbots as part of a solution. MaxBill takes advantage of advanced AI capabilities to offer customers seamless access to billing and customer management function. So we are connecting this chatbot to specific back office functions that are available in your customer management and billing solution. And it's actually enlarge possible use of this AI and give additional capabilities to end users for self-actions, and also replacing your staff as energy service provider. Okay, it's what we call it's a virtual CSR that have full access to operational functions like a regular CSR in your organization, and provides this capability under security and in control to end customers. And we need to take in consideration that the security aspects like GDPR and passing personal information. It should be a part of overall environment. It should be taken very seriously. And under this controlled environment, you can expose billing functionality to end customers. And we have it already in our solution. It can be a part of a self-care portal. It can be used for internal users, employees of energy service providers, as a kind of assistant to their operation. And this is what we call virtual CSR. Okay, so MaxBill virtual CSR chatbot engages in conversation with customer, responds on billing and service inquiries, explains bills, provide with reports and GDPR requirements requests to end customers, and it can be extended in an unlimited way to any operation that you can run in our system, because it's totally integrated with billing functionality. I would like to present some advanced use case of using of AI generative technology for billing purpose. We are talking about AI quote service of MaxBill. It's focused for sales agents and sales professionals or brokers to help them negotiate and close complex energy supply contracts with big consumers and B2B customers. By the way, this functionality does not require MaxBill customer management and billing system to be installed in organization. Okay, it can be accessible online. Okay, via subscription by any sales agent, and it provides the following functionality. You can negotiate contractual contract conditions via a free text chat, even by voice or by import of contract template into chatbot in totally not structured way, where you define your contract conditions, you negotiate it in front, you as a sales agent negotiate it in front of your client. You can request from the client historical consumption for this for his specific locations. Normally, if you are talking about big consumers, it's smart meters with half meter or quarter meter consumption records. So let's say you can request, you can ask your customer to get this consumption data from a current energy supplier of the client, let's say for the last year. And also upload this consumption in not structured way into our service, quote service. And the system will calculate, will apply these contractual conditions that were negotiated on the fly, on the spot, on this consumption, on this historical consumption, and generate the quote. So you will see impact of a specific condition of this contract based on real historical consumption of this client, and it will produce your Excel spreadsheet with calculation, with aggregation, with price breakdown, quite helpful in your negotiations to choose the best offer for your client, okay, and also support your sales negotiation process. All this outside of MaxBill solution to be placed in your organization, totally online service available. And we use, as you understand, AI technology for parsing and structuring of different conditions in a structured way. We are passing it to our billing engine, generate outcome, and generate this outcome in accessible way in Excel or PDF or already contract template ready for sign off. Ready to use, and we are utilizing a lot of new AI technology with our experience as and also billing back office function in one place, accessible right now. It's just a beginning. We are working on another interesting developments with use of AI gen and machine learning technologies that we will expose in the nearest future. So finished my part, and Johan, stage is yours.
Let's see. There we go. Yeah. Thank you, all speakers. We have a few questions. The first one is, how do you define what kind of parameters influence the detection of churn risk and debt risk? I believe that one is to Rost.
Well, it's really depending on customer business, and it's really dependent on type of customer as well. Let's say customers that have a monopoly on infrastructure, churn prediction is a less important question because everyone have connected, they cannot leave, otherwise they will not have a connect to this pipe with gas supply, for instance. But some customers which are related to B2B environment, customer churn is really serious thing that should be monitored and navigated, and it can bring business to success or to collapse as well. So data-driven approach, it means that data of specific customer should be analyzed. We are taking a specific customer, his historical data, what we have in possession. We evaluate exact attributes that may impact on this prediction result by our data analysis stage, and train model to use these specific attributes. So it has a common base between one and another operator in the same segment or in the same type of customer, but always has also a customer aspect of it. So the process of training of the models and adjusting the models of specific customer data is quite important. And normally, there's a set of 20 or 30 different attributes that impacting on decision. We can say it can be related to payment methods. It can be related to specific regions that customer located is, and other profiling that we are not favor of it. Okay, but anyway, data is driving.
Okay, thank you, Rost. Next question is to Niladri. It's already answered in the chat, but just to make a brief answer on the, is sustainability reporting mandatory for all energy and utility companies in Sweden or Europe?
So yeah, as noted in the chat, the mandates are European-wide, and over time, increasingly smaller companies are being affected by this. So to begin with, it was just the larger companies and they had the mandates, and then over time, as for example, what's the total emissions of a company over a year? High level, mid level, low level, over time, everybody's going to get affected by this. So even if it's not affecting companies now, they will have to prepare for it in the coming few years. And also, given the nature of scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions, which, if you're unfamiliar, scope 3 are the indirect emissions from things such as the supply chain. If you fall within the supply chain or even the service bucket of a larger company that you are providing services to, then yes, you will also have to have some degree of compliance. So it's worthwhile preparing for that from now, even if a company isn't yet fully affected.
Thank you, Niladri. We have one last question. We have passed the time already, but I post this last questions as well. It's for Rost. This quote service, is it designed particularly for companies in the trading energy?
Oh, it's designed particularly for trading. That's right. It can be indeed companies that for brokers or energy managing companies, but also for business departments, which belongs to regular commodity energy supply, who works with business customers, industrial and commercial. So answer yes, but not limited to them.
Thanks. I got a last question, and that's for me. Johan, do you think chatbots can completely replace staff? I don't think it can completely replace staff, but it can help out and make some repetitive tasks more easily done. But I believe as soon as I see, as far as I can see, that we need manual interaction. Not in the entire process, but in parts of the process, for as far as I can see, at least. I believe that was the last question and the end of the session. I will thank all the presentators and ask you to check back on MaxBill, and you will get an email with the presentation and everything later on. So thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day.